was a freshman, getting ready to be a freshman in high school, which made me around 14. They changed the lines of where you would go to school. So we were now going to be bused over to Thornwood in South Holland, brand new school. But the town of South Holland was not crazy about where the lines were, because I was in Markham, which is like 90% black, and South Holland at that time was predominantly 95, 100% white. So they did not want black people going to school over there. They actually went to court to try to get an injunction to keep us from going over there to move the lines back. So the first day of school, we went, the buses picked us up, we went, and they were out there picketing. You know, we had been told that was a possibility, and you gotta remember this was in the 70s, you know, so they told us it might be a possibility, but there were gonna be police and all of that, and it was like, really? So we went, we got off the bus, people were out there and they were shouting and saying different things, and what struck me was there was a family and they had some little kids with them, and I think the little boy was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and it was like, Mom, look at the niggers. And it literally brought me to tears, because for a 4 or 5-year-old to know that word, someone taught that child that, you know, because basically, if you put kids together, no matter what color they are, they're gonna all play together. It's when adults get in the mix, that's when you have the problem. And to this day, that action right there has always hurt me to my heart, because that was a child. That word should not have came out of his mouth at all. And I wonder whatever happened to him. You know, did his parents ever learn and teach him, or did he grow up to, you know, to be a racist? Because that's the only way you become one, is somebody teaches you to be that. So that really hurt.
There was a lot of incidents when I was growing up. It really didn't start, I think, until I was it was always there while I was like 13, 14, 15, like in grammar school. But when it really hit me, I think it was just before I started going to high school. My boyfriend and I would do certain things. And then we went to the movies. It was the black had to sit at the bottom and the white sit at the top. That was disturbing to me too. But the worst of it all was when we went out to get our refreshment, we would have to stand out in the rain, snow, whatever, cold, whatever, outside to get our refreshment, while inside nice, warm, and a nice lobby where the white peoples were. And they will always serve them first. No matter how bad the weather was, they would serve them first. So that was really irritated to me and to my boyfriend at that time. And also, when you went to downtown to do your shopping, you go into the department stores or whatever you go into, it's always 2 signs, not black, not white, colored, and white restaurants. You can go into the restaurant anytime you want to go in the store, but please don't accidentally go into the white sign that said white. They will exterminate, saw whatever you want to do before they will go back in. And also at the department store, you can buy the same clothes that they wore and everybody. You can buy the same clothes. But the only thing different, you could not try anything on. You just had to just take them home. And then they had a place called Furl's Hamburgers. They said they was the best hamburger it was. Fine, we could have a Furl's hamburger, but guess what? You go to the back door and they would hand it out to you. But guess what? I was never that home.
Literally at that age, I cried. It was, me and my best friend at the time, we did everything together, and of course we were on the bus together. And, and we looked at each other, it's like, did that child say that? It just hurt. And I've never forgot that experience. So, yeah, it has, because I wasn't raised that way, so I've always reflected, like I say, on that situation, and it's never left me.
It was just so many incidents that happened because our skin was black, so we got treated different, as if we had all kind of disease and everything. So it was really, really bad. That's how we was treated, so terrible. Like I said before, at least you thought we had some kind of disease or something. But we was okay to go into their home and take care of their family, their children, that they ate the food we cooked and everything. That was okay. Because it's so hard for me sometimes to think of things like that. So it's a lot more I can tell, but it's just so terrible when you think about it. It hurts so bad to think people would treat you like that. So basically, that's it.
Yes and no, because words are cruel. People don't realize, and they affect you, maybe not then, but maybe later on, or you see something and it triggers that, and you be like, wow, okay, so I'm grateful for my parents not being that way, and the fact that they moved us from the city, 51st and State, in the federal projects, and they moved us to the suburbs in order to not be that way, not to grow up with the stigma or not to be prejudiced. I'm just blessed that way that I take people on face value, which you take a person as who they are and not by what their color is.
Well, yes, I have. But with God, putting God first in my life, the first in my life, have brought me through all of this. And He will always be the first in my life. And like I said, I had a tough black mother. But what I would like to say, people said we sure have come a long way. But have we really? No visible change, but they are still there to some extent. We have to keep focused and keep our eyes on the prize, equality, justice, and most of all, our black pride.
Unfortunately, this me generation that thinks somebody owes them something, that really bothers me, because nobody owe you nothing. If you want something, you gotta strive for it, you gotta achieve for it, you gotta get the education. Nobody has to hand you anything just because you're black. True enough, we were brought here in slavery and all of that, but quit using that as an excuse. That's why you can't get this job. That's why you can't get in school. That's why you can't do whatever because of slavery. 400 years ago, yeah, this is 2023. And yeah, we still have problems. We still have racism. But look past that. You know, there are programs, there are people, there are things that you can do to get what you want, and stop standing around thinking somebody got to give you something just because you.
Well, that's, to put it in words, kind of hard, but I have grandsons. So much is going on in the world now today. I have all the grandsons. So I tell my grandsons, I repeat the stories to them a little bit sometimes. But I tell them there's so much still going on in the world now. This is what I tell them. I said, if you out, please, if the police stop you, this is what I want you to do. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Keep them there. Don't reach for nothing. If your eyes is running, your nose is running, let it run. But keep your hands on the steering wheel. And when they come to the car, don't move or anything. Whatever they ask you to do, then you do. And I just pray for them. Because there's so much going on now, we got to pray for everybody. It's not for you black or white now. So that's something I can say.
I am Linda Gillmore, and I am Black History.
I am Joyce Jackson, the coolest lady, and I am Black History.